Hey, hello, and welcome to Wednesday, May 10th, Skintuitive session. I am super excited to be here with you today. I am delighted, actually, not excited. I am delighted. So today's session is going to be all about the real reason your skincare products stop working. That's the official title, and we'll probably move around several places, but this video is going to be really impactful for you. If you are struggling with buying skincare products, not getting results, changing brands, having more than 5 serums, moisturizers, masks, or creams at home and not using them together with a plan, and that's left you feeling totally overwhelmed and sort of disconnected from why you're even doing it, then this video is going to be really, really powerful for you. So with that being said, let's open up the session. And I know that we are in a very quick culture where we just pop in and out. I myself am like that. It's hard for me to actually sit down and really watch a video unless I've carved out that time and I have set up the space. So if you can't develop or actually, set aside some time to really tune in to this session, then come back and watch the replay at your leisure. But I promise you, if you invest the time to participate in these lives with me and allow some of the ideas and the awarenesses that I share to sort of take bloom and take seed and then to take bloom, they will bloom. And it really can be life-changing. It can be the life-changing experience to meet yourself in the mirror a totally different way. And following up on the heels of last week's session, which was all about going out of the mind and into the heart of beauty, let's start there, and then we'll make our way towards the topic of the real reason your skincare products stop working. And then we'll do some skintuitive energy play. And today we're actually not going to be massaging our skin. We're just going to be using our consciousness and our awareness to go inside of our face. So that should be a very eye-opening experience for you, because if you're not using your awareness already as a little spotlight in your skin, you will be absolutely amazed at what it can do. So I am Amy Wall. I am an award-winning esthetician, and I am an energetic beauty visionary, but I also am a skintuitive, which means that your skin is talking to me. I work with high-level leaders in the personal development industry, in business, other women that are mentoring other women. I work with other beauty professionals and really anyone who is interested in restoring their radiance and resetting their relationship with their reflection without the use of needles or knives. So if you are in the right place, then all right, let's continue. And I just want to make sure that this is all still streaming, because Zoom just showed me something different, but it looks like I am live. Okay, let me just adjust. By next week, I'll have a camera that doesn't move every time that will track my movements, because it's kind of distracting. But this is the magic of the internet. And actually, I'd like to speak about the magic of the internet. So before COVID, which I guess is almost 3 years now, virtual skincare was still kind of a novelty, right? There were not as many options for learning about your skin, learning about beauty, and practicing, a really potent professional grade ritual at home as there are now because of COVID. But I actually started using the internet all those years ago, not because of, something like COVID, but because I live in a very rural space. I live in a little town called Mendocino, which is about 3.5 hours north of San Francisco. Excuse me, up through the redwoods, perched a magical village perched on the edge of the Pacific Ocean, where there are redwoods and wildflowers and just the most amazing beauty you could possibly imagine, but it is quite rural. So it's been important to me from the very beginning to be able to use the internet as a tool to share my message. And I really can't think of any other better message than the topic of today's video, which is the real reason your skincare products stop working. Because if you really get this and it really lands for you, it could potentially change what you buy, how you buy it, and how you apply it for the rest of your life. And that could have ripple effects in every area of your life, from money to relationships to business to personal happiness, because you see, how we face the world has everything to do with our skin and our self-image and our self-concept. So instead of just trying to get you to buy all of my skin nutrition, which, by the way, is the very best in the world, and it is on sale right now from 3 to 5 p.m. At higherselfbeauty.com. But the reason I just don't do just the skincare is that the skincare product on its own can only do so much. And even my product, which is far and away more potent and more powerful than what you're using, I can almost guarantee it. There are a few other brands that are at my level of efficacy, potency, high quality, high standards, but only a few. But even those products, they are not the magic. You are. And I feel as if the entire community of women in the world are under a spell, a magic spell, as if we were all sleeping beauties, sort of waiting for our prince to come and kiss us back awake. And the little bottle being the kiss. And having a kiss from a prince is always really good, especially if he's a high value, divine masculine type, which is, what my products would be compared to. But it's not the outside that's ever going to get you to where you want to go. So that's why I am so obstinately passionate about sharing this message, even though it comes at great cost to me, because it is much, much harder to sell something that is based on self-trust and self-responsibility, which is what the higher self beauty effect is based on. It's you taking complete power back and acknowledging that you are the programmer of your reflection, and acknowledging that it's you that brings the magic to the formula. It's your energy that activates it. It's your intentions, it's your attention, and it's your commitment to releasing tension. And you can see that I just get going and I get so passionate about that, even though I'm actually not feeling that well today. I actually have a real loss of energy, and I want to discuss that a little bit before we get to the meat and potatoes of today's live. So I like to, one of the anecdotes that I like to talk about is how I am not exfoliating my skin with, acids or retinols or any harsh scrubs. I actually don't use any of those things. I do use some slow release vitamin A a few times a month, my Anu vitamin A serum, but even that is a very gentle pulsed cellular turnover. So I'm not wounding my skin or creating inflammation at all in order to turn over the skin. So I am not exfoliating my skin pretty much at all. I have an anti-inflammatory perspective. And but one thing I do exfoliate is my energy. And I want to talk about how that affects me and my skin. And hopefully you'll either be able to take something away from that or just use it as an awareness for the next time you go through a loss of energy or a rash on your skin or any other thing. So this whole entire last few weeks has been a lot of astrological weather, which is kind of neither here nor there, except that I am so sensitive and I have developed my antenna to be so precise that I actually pick up on planetary weather pretty intensely. I am also really asking a lot of myself in my business. I am going through a lot of up leveling. I am putting myself out to be on podcasts. I am hosting a retreat in St. Lucia with my signature methodology. I'm really, going through a change in my own identity, because what got me to where I am now won't get me to where I want to go. So there's lots of newness and there's lots of self-inquiry, and there's lots of shifting. I also, so we've got that. So that in itself has created an environment on my skin in which I am expressing. So we know that our skin is part of our excretory system. We know that our skin is our largest organ. And as such, it's like a beach whose shore is always changing, right? We are an ecosystem. And depending on the energy, both of the cellular and the spiritual energy, the environment, what's going on in your current little bubble, your inner movies, your outer movie, all of that is affecting your skin on a daily basis. And whether or not you're recognizing it, that's what I'm here to help you with. So that the act of just becoming the observer of your own skin and sort of stepping out of your inner mind movies or your outer movie in which the reflection belongs to, the outer reflection belongs to that outer movie, and just sort of stay between those two screens and just observe what's going on without attaching a story to it, which makes it the movie. Just bringing sort of a 0-point awareness. And then from there, observing your skin, you'll start to see that every rash, every breakout, every dark spot is merely a message telling you precisely what is going on with you internally and externally. Well, actually, on all of your levels, right? Your subconscious level, your conscious level, and your super conscious level. So for me personally, going through this last few weeks has been really, really intense. And yesterday, or maybe it was Monday, I just hit the wall. I haven't been sleeping well because I have a new puppy, and all of the puppyhood is going really well, but I'm extremely sensitive and light sleeper. So I haven't been sleeping well. And then everything kind of just hit me. And I think it was Monday where I just really wasn't feeling well. I was crying, and I just created a whole day for myself where I could rest and feel these feelings. So instead of resisting it, trying to spiritually bypass myself out of it and be positive or make any of the feelings mean anything, I just let myself kind of grieve. And really what it was an energy exfoliation. I had to shed the skin, the energetic skin of who I have been in order to step into this next best future version of myself. And my skin is showing it. Now, we're on Zoom, and this camera, I think, is blurring things out. I don't think you can see all the way, but there's a rash all the way here. It's actually up into my scalp. And there was a time when I was in total resistance of these kinds of things. I would, have cortisol creams and all these sorts of things, which never made it better, always perpetuated it. But now I just stay in inquiry of it. So I know that it's a schlepping and a dissolving of emotions, of these energetic skins. And then also I have been doing a fitness program, which is called Faster Way to Fat Loss. It's a 6-week program and it's been absolutely amazing. I'm already quite a health nut. So it was really easy to adopt the eating plan, which is only 2 days low carb, the rest just counting your whole foods, which is called macros, and then some really fun high intensity workouts and walking meditations, and all within this app. I can let you know about it more if you're looking for a body transformation and a health transformation. I think a lot of this program, they have a lot of attention to hormones and all the things that is important to me. And the woman that I have been working with, Amy Wilson, is also a pharmacist. So she's just, she's at my standard for education and everything. But having said that, I am fasting 12 hours, which is, I think I was already kind of doing that anyways. And I'm eating even more clean than I normally do because I have a target of releasing some weight. Now, notice I'm not losing it. I'm just open to releasing it. And I'm open to, like, if you imagine, like sort of unzipping and stepping out in spring, just fitter, leaner, stronger. And Amy's been helping me get there. But my body is digesting differently. And so again, our skin is part of our digestion. Our skin is connected to our nervous system. So the nervous system, the digestion, since it's covering all of us, it's actually a part of every system. But that's another thing that kind of added to the sort of energy exfoliation that I have been experiencing. And that really leads me into a conversation that I want to have with you about your aesthetic and what you're trying to accomplish. Because if it's your goal to always have like this perfect skin that has no texture, that has no communication happening on it, I'm probably not the best person to guide you, because that's not something I want to help you achieve. What I want to help you achieve is a skintimacy, an intimacy that is more than skin deep. I want to help you activate the ability to use cellular and spiritual energy to revitalize and to rejuvenate and to restore your radiance on command. And I want to help you do it with the combination of skin nutrition, energy illumination, and your self-concept. And so I think that that's something that's been really important to talk about. This isn't necessary. This isn't beauty. This isn't beauty perfection. This is beauty as a beach whose shores are always changing. This is not about looking younger. This is not about being more youthful, for the love of all that is holy. I don't want to be more youthful looking. No, I don't. I desire freshness in all of my systems. And because I practice freshness and because I practice flow, I have an otherworldly glow. And it's really, really fun to age when you have no fear of aging and you know that your paradigm is to get better looking and feeling every year. I mean, how does it get even better than that? And so if that sounds good to you, then DM me. I'll have all the links of how to work with me below. So now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's talk about the real reason your skincare products stop working. The real reason is that it's not as much what you are putting on your face, but how and when you're putting them on, what you are thinking about while you're doing it, why you are doing it, and what you believe is possible with the results. So I'm just going to let that land, kind of taking a temperature of the future viewers. I don't know if anybody's on live, but if you are, hello, beautiful. I make it a practice to stay out of the YouTube so I can just sort of stream through the webcam here. But let me say that again, and let's unpack the energy in it. And so let's start playing with energy while we're here. So when I talk about energy, you might think like, what in the E double hockey sticks is she talking about? And instead of like giving you a bunch of science, which I absolutely have on lock, we want to keep practicing this idea of going out of our mind and into the somatics, into the body, into the feelings, into the heart. And so instead of me lecturing you on what energy is, let's just have an experience of it. So when something is like really true for you, you'll feel it. It'll just like either be a tingle, or you'll just feel either some lightness or some brightness. And if something is not true for you, it's going to feel really, really heavy. So that's heavy and light. Those are actually tools from the body of work called Access Consciousness, of which I am a huge fan. You can check them out at accessconsciousness.com. I'm not a certified facilitator. I do run bars as much as possible, but that's one of my favorite tools from them, heavy and light. What's true for you will feel light and bubbly, and what's heavy will feel kind of heavy and dead. So play with that, and then just play with just any sensations when I say something. So allow it to penetrate in my words, and then just sit with it. So the real reason your skincare products stop working is not so much what you were putting on your face, but how and when you're applying them, what you're thinking about while you're doing it, what you think is possible about the results, and why you are using them. So I feel like just like this really light, like lifted, like my whole entire crown is lit up. And I'm just going to set back a little bit and do the energy lock that we've practiced last week. So really engaging your pelvic floor, your mula bandha, if you practice yoga, tipping up your pelvic floor, really kind of giving yourself a nice, tight, lifted feeling, and then bringing a column of light through the crown of your head and letting that push down through your tailbone into the ground, just as if you were on a merry-go-round and you were a carousel horse. Just become that carousel horse for a moment and get that nice column of light going. So let me say it one more time, and let's perceive the energy. So the real reason your skincare products stop working is not so much what you're putting on your face, but how and when you are applying them, what you are thinking about as you apply them, what you think is possible with the results from the products, and your why for using them. Ooh. And everything that brings up and lets down, if you're willing to let that all go, then I'll just help with that. Yeah, just dissolve and dissipate, relax and release that back into the earth. The earth is a great recycler. And we can actually bring in a nice toroidal field. My big, my big ficus there, I need a little bit more room, becoming the stem of the pumpkin, letting that column of light be the stem, and just recycling, reusing, reducing, returning all of that, all of the judgments that may have come up, all of the awarenesses that came up. Just relax and release it, dissolve and dissipate it, and allow it to be renewed. All right. So we can unpack that a little bit if you'd like, or we can move right into the energetic exercise. So let me see if there are any questions actually before we move on to the next one. Actually, I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the bandwidth to multitask into the screen, so I'm just going to keep streaming and I'll check out the questions. But there's nothing to do with the information that I gave you. There's nothing to there. Don't let it be facts. Don't let it make you change anything. Just like savor the idea and maybe nibble on it a little and let it digest. Like next time you go to buy something, like, are you aligned with why you're using it? And do you have a what and a when and a how and all of those things? And if you don't, that's what I can help you with. Right now, the beauty blueprint is on my website for $37. I know people tell me I'm crazy to do that, but I've been sort of in this testing phase to see how I can deliver these virtual classes and these virtual awarenesses and teachings. And so I have been testing, and a lot of you have gotten them, and thank you so much. But not everybody is able to log in and, do the education on their own, I noticed. And so that is asking to evolve a bit. And so I'm going to have some other way of delivering the beauty blueprint. But that is what it's all about right now. That offer that is $37 is all about how and when and how to develop your why, because your why is your beauty blueprint. You already have a blueprint that you're operating on. And so if you don't examine it and become your own architect of your own beauty and your own energy, and that blueprint that you're running off remains unexamined, you're missing out. You're going to waste time and you're missing out on so many amazing results. And I know I get so passionate about it, but if I could get that effing 10 years back that I wasted being worried about aging in my 40s and having nurse practitioners and all sorts of doctors and people giving me such bad effing advice, and me just trying to go along with the muggle beauty industry in an attempt to feel a different way about myself, and not one person offered me a different way. If I could have that 10 years back, it would be literally priceless to me. So that is why I get so passionate about this, because if you don't take the reins and you do not become your own architect, you're going to be wasting time, and it is a recipe for regret. And I don't want you to feel regretful. I want you to enjoy your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, and keep creating a new idea, keep creating a new concept of what beauty means to you and what it feels like. And yes, what it looks like, but what it looks like is actually the last thing that you should think about. And the looking like is only because our imagination is a quantum computer, and it will infuse your cells with the vision to create it. But it's not about looking a certain way for other people. It's only for you. And that will probably be the topic of next week's live, because I am seeing a lot around aging and beauty. And it's always, the conversation is always about like what other people think. And this is the last thing that's important to me, what other people think. It just so happens that when you become the programmer and the architect of your own beauty, you can't help but be magnetic to other people. It has nothing to do with if you have wrinkles or dark spots or crepey chin or the little bit of jowl starting, which I have, and gray hair and a receding hairline and a rash all over. You can't see that because I'm projecting an energy of absolute acceptance of myself, and it is extremely magnetic to other people. It's not about the individual, flat forehead or lifted eyes. It's not about that. And so we have to come to this whole conversation with that in place. Okay. So I think that was that section is done. So let's transition, and this is a liminal space. So anytime you walk through a doorway and you change your energies, it's liminal, and that is related to subliminal. Subliminal is liminal. So it's a doorway that we can enter and change the energy and change the consciousness and change the awareness. So won't you walk through that door with me now? Just weaving a golden thread between the two of us, activating the master key of the infinity symbol and allowing us to go on all of these points of perspectives where there's no wrong, there's no right, and we can have each perspective be a part of our whole. Now let's turn this infinity symbol to go perpendicular up and down and start practicing some skintessence breath, which is weaving this golden infinity master key down through the ground. It's going to enter the back at the bottom of your spine. It's going to come through the down at the bottom of your in your sacral area. It's going to enter there. It's going to come up and bring in some heavenly energy. It's going to weave through your body, press down into the earth, bringing up some nice grounding energy. And just let's weave heaven and earth inside of our bodies for a moment. And an advanced level is to sync it with your breath, expanding your lungs as it weaves up, crossing it over. And then as you breathe out and press it into the earth, go ahead and give yourself a nice little pelvic squeeze. And on the way out, you really want to tighten your abs and blow all of the air out, allowing this to be almost a full body exercise. So just go ahead at your own pace and weave heaven and earth just for a moment more. Okay, I think a breath is a really nice way to actually connect with the infinity symbol because it's got both sides, breathing in and letting go and crossing over, right? And so that center of the symbol is the center of you. And you can put it in different centers, but for now we're working in the sacral area at the top of the pelvis and at the bottom of the spine. And, once we're done at the sacral area, we will, and as the Skintuitive sessions grow, I'll move us all the way up until you start weaving it here and here. That'll be really fun. And so hopefully the energy will build. And please do share these videos with a sister, mother, daughter, friend, aunt, anyone that you think would benefit from having an alternative to restoring radiance without needles or knives. I would really appreciate it. And that will help all of us rise with these new awarenesses and really taking back our power in the mirror. Okay, so let's practice a little energy awareness. I actually have a microphone. I hope that it's been coming through nice and clear. Maybe I'll tip it this way. Okay, so first what we're going to do is let's close our eyes. And just follow the sound of my voice. This is going to be a little energetic exploration and adventuring. I do not plan these out in advance. I'm merely going to follow the energy and allow the activation to populate. I have sort of a general idea of what I'm going to do. But again, this is not a teaching. This is an activation. So we're not using our mind. Don't worry about taking notes or understanding what I am saying. Just see if you can bring some inner standing and some energetic awareness to this exercise. And so with your eyes closed, and your body should be already nice and activated, just from the exercises that we started doing in the beginning of the call, I want you to go back to these screens I briefly mentioned earlier. So with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine that your outside world, what you see with your eyes, is like a movie moving forward with the flow of time. Okay, so everything that happened today, there is a story. It is a movie moving forward with the flow of time. Then I want you to see that you have another screen here on the third eye behind your forehead. And this is where we do a lot of our thinking, right? And even visualization happens often on this inner screen. And this, I will also teach you how to do a little bit of inner screen visualization, but ultimately we will be moving our visualizations to behind us. That's an advanced level. And if you are doing any transformational image coaching with me, I'll be teaching you that. But see that there are two screens. You've got your outer screen and you've got your inner screen. And now see if you, as your aware ego and yourself, can you perceive that you can observe both of these screens at once? So it's almost as if you are sitting in between the screens as the observer. And notice how quickly this moves from your awareness as an I am into this expanded super consciousness. Feel how that happens almost immediately when you acknowledge the two screens. You instantly align with your observer or your super conscious or your higher self, which are all synonymous. And just stay in this awareness and feeling how good it feels. And let's just continue to bring this awareness, this light of your super conscious awareness, away from the screens and trying to think about outer screens or inner screens. Just allow that to fade away. And now I just want you to bring your observer and your super consciousness all the way inside of your face. I want you just to observe your own face with the light of your super conscious awareness. Maybe moving on the inside, seeing any patterns. I can, while I am a skin whisperer, I am a skintuitive, so I can actually feel a lot of lymphatic fluid stuck in here. I can see it and I can feel it. But just take a scan inside of your face with your super conscious awareness, as if you were almost like a little spelunker with with a headlamp, and that was your observing consciousness. Just take a little look around. Maybe get behind your eyebrows and notice if you have tension there. Ooh, you do. Okay, I'll just assist there. Just noticing how it relaxes and releases. And continue to do some scanning all around your face. Now let's come to the outside of our face. And starting up at the forehead, bring your observer, your super conscious light and awareness to the front of your face, and go ahead and do a gentle scan as if you were literally scanning a document, and just read your face just energetically. I don't want you to look at it. Your eyes closed. Go over any areas that you perceive wrinkles or a cellular decay and see if there's any messages for you. My forehead just gave me the message that it can be easy. I don't actually have to concentrate anymore. I don't have to actually worry or think of myself through anything anymore. I can just relax and have a smooth screen there. So no matter how silly or uncomfortable it might feel to ask your skin to give you a message, go ahead and do it anyways, because we're just playing. We're just recreating, we're recreating with our face. So just go ahead and take a look with your super consciousness on the outside of your skin. And now together, let's pick the place between our eyebrows, because I think that the majority of people are going to sense some stuck energy here, aka tension. So wrinkles and dark spots are really just another way of saying inflammation, tension, and cellular decay. So go ahead and enter into the eyebrows. Let's go back inside and go behind the eyebrows. And I will assist each one of you, because that's the magic of the internet. I can be in all places, future and past at once. And I'll be right there with you. See if you can perceive a release of energy in between your eyebrows. And just by shining the light of your awareness with the assistance of my awareness, it's just like throwing off all your clothes at the end of a hard day's work and putting on the yummiest pajamas and grabbing a wonderful book and laying on your bed with clean sheets. That feeling of little comfort, and just rest in the feeling that all is well. Going back up to between your eyebrows and bringing an infinity symbol. It will cross over right between your eyebrows, but I'm going to cross it. I'm going to take in the front of each of your eyebrows, and then I'm going to cross over in the center. Just allow me to relax and release, dissolve and dissipate. In return, all of your cells, all of your molecules, all of your mitochondria, your mitochondrial DNA, to return to their original program of perfection now. And then just bringing in some really fresh, beautiful, light, pinkish white energy into this area, illuminating any little corners that need it. I think you should be able to feel it actually coming out the tails of both of your eyebrows. So allow all the tension and actually any of the energy that I brought in to run down through your eyebrows, dripping down actually and running down the lymphatic pathways behind the ear and underneath the jaw, creating a waterfall right here at the chin and the neck, going down over the thymus, over the breasts, and down underneath the armpits. Now, I'm not going to use my hands. Let's just do it with our awareness and our energy. 2 waterfalls on each side of the eyebrows, as if we've opened up faucets on each side. Just allow any judgments, limitations, projections, rejections, conclusions, computations about what is possible with regenerating and restoring your skin and energy without acids, needles, knives, or inflammatory treatments. Just allow any of those beliefs to run in these golden waterfalls, allowing it to go down underneath the ears, cooling up underneath the chin, down the center, over the thymus, over the breasts, and underneath the armpits. So see if you can really get a really good sense of these lymphatic rivers. And see if you can get a good sense of the fiber optics of the fascia in this area as well. You may feel a little fluid populating at the back of your throat as I turn up your lymphatic system now. Oh. Doing an energy cleanse. And if you do end up experiencing a little rougher texture or any purging of energy in your skin in the next few days, just up your water, up your willingness to receive messages from your skin, and don't resist them, and know that they will shift very quickly. And I'm only a message away if you require support. Okay, you can open up your eyes whenever you're ready. How did that feel? So that was I felt like everybody that's going to watch this really did an amazing job. I could feel it really landing with quite a few of you. So thank you for being willing to take the road less traveled in beauty and become your own architect of energy, of your image, and being willing to develop the deep skintimacy, being willing to develop the muscle of skintuition. You're the 1%ers. And you're adding energy to this movement, which is just starting off as a little wave, but eventually will tip the scales. And every woman in the world will eventually know that it's not her age, it's her energy. And restoring your value, restoring your standards, restoring your radiance is only an intention away. Boop. And on that note, I'm going to end. Have a beautiful Wednesday. And I'll see you here same time next week. And we still have time off the sale. You've got an hour and 10 more minutes. higherselfbeauty.com. If you need help picking something out, just ask. And again,